To pair beautifully with another gorgeous example of this same facelift era Range Rover Sport which have just arrived in our collection, we have this one, a HSE dynamic form, so of course a facelift generation from 2016, and this one represents, just like that other vehicle, tremendous value for money. In particular, in the case of this car, for someone who has been looking for a blue example of Range Rover Sport, dark sapphire in particular, with heated ebony and ivory interior and shadow walnut veneers. And as is always the case with our Range Rovers and Range Rover Sports, these represent a colossal saving on price, that's for sure. These were well in excess of £60,000 4x4s when new. Now, well, this exact vehicle, which has only just kissed 85,000 miles, so in very real terms less than half of what some on the market have reached, this one being under £17,000, and of course still has the option, as always, of low deposit financing if you wanted to spread out that cost. Well, that is a huge amount of vehicle just on the luxury point alone, let alone the fact that it's a 4x4 with acres of room, fantastic loading space, which many people can and do use as not only luxury cars, but daily drivers, grocery getters, even long-distance holiday cars and towing vehicles. And speaking to towing, of course, once again, it has the most in-demand engine, the 3-litre ST-V6, and really is it any wonder why people would want one? 300 horsepower on the one hand means these are a lot quicker than you would think, but more importantly, they have massive towing capacity thanks to 700 newtons of torque, and yet remarkably good fuel economy. Certainly for a luxury vehicle, and you would think, given their price when new, given the category, would owners really care at the time what the fuel economy was? Well, clearly so, because the amount of effort put into engineering them to be as economical as possible, certainly for their time, well, it shows. These can average up around 40 miles per gallon, higher on the motorway, as high as 44, and even as a 2016, certainly in this modern era 4x4, its road tax is a lot more modest than you would think. In fact, compare this to some older Range Rovers, and those are in some cases nearly £800 a year. This in comparison is £345. Now, to return to the point of its history, clearly this has been a beloved car because it has a full main agent and Range Rover specialist history behind it, including most recently in November. It also had its cam belt and water pump changed in May of 2025, and of course, being a Range Rover, as always, we need to get to the goodies. The spec sheet on these cars is as long as your arm, touchscreen interface with multiple 12-volt and auxiliary power points, Bluetooth and USB integration, voice control navigation, cruise control, of course reverse parking camera with front and rear parking sensors, power opening and closing tailgate, electronic tow prep as well, so if you do plan to use it to tow perhaps a trailer or a caravan, it's certainly capable of doing that. Being a facelift car, much like the other recent example, it has those updated xenon headlights with day-running LEDs and LED rear lights as well, dual-zone climate control, rain-sensing wipers, adaptive dynamics, 4-corner air suspension, which is of course the primary reason why Range Rovers, and here Range Rover Sports, are known for being so comfortable and so smooth, in addition to torque vectoring and the very handy choice of the high and low speed transfer box if you do need to tackle the tough stuff or go off-road. And to round us off nicely, of course, as we said, these are a very popular choice of luxury family car, and if you were wondering, it does of course have Isofix anchor points if you do need to fit child seats as well. If then you've already been searching for the right Range Rover Sport, perhaps even in this exact colour combination with this kind of history and spec behind it, and absolutely for this kind of price point, then as usual we don't think this car is going to stick around for very long at all. So of course, if you would like to reach out and get in touch about it, you could send us an email via the address shown here on screen, or give us a call on 01749 871 155, or via our mobile number of 07482 267 439.